Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to the Yarnquisitions knitting podcast. I'm Sulin, and hopefully this will be a very fast one, although I really don't think it will be. My editing process will be like quicker, because last time it was like way too long, and 4 hours of editing is like my personal nightmare now. It's like, I don't know, it's just like a whole thing, like I don't know. And for the last episode, I did boost the audio to its max on the iMovie program, so hopefully it's fine and it doesn't blow out your ears or whatever, because when I was editing it was like really quiet, but then I don't know, when I upload it, it's fine. Like all the other ones are fine, but this one, when I edited it, it wasn't, I couldn't hear it for some reason. I don't know. So I have 2 finished objects, 1 blocked object that I just want to update you guys on because I barely block anything. And then, no, it's 3 finished objects, whatever, we'll get to it. So the first thing I want to show you is actually the first thing I showed you last time, I think, and it's the tombo tee by Handmade by Florence. And I washed this in the, the washing machine on cold, because that's how I'm gonna wash this from now on. And then I hung dry it. Technically you're not supposed to hang dry things, but I mean, it's linen, it's fine if it stretches, but I mean, linen is also not known for stretching, so I wasn't too concerned. And I still have to weave this in somehow, or like cut it. And I haven't worn it yet since blocking it, so there's no further updates besides the fact that it wrinkles a lot. So I guess I'm just gonna have to live with it being wrinkled all the time. Actually, now that it's dry, it's not as noticeably wrinkly, but I noticed that the neck band is annoying, because it kind of like folds backwards like that. I thought it would resolve itself when blocking, but I guess not. It's just gonna be a perpetual problem. I think when I wear it, it's on the back, who cares? I just noticed, I think there's like much more like pilling on the back side for some reason. How strange. But it's not on the front side, so I guess that's the only part that matters. Oh gosh, the deer scared me. The deer keeps coming by the house, or by the apartment complex, and they walk right in front of my apartment windows and scares me every time. Like, what is that? Because it's huge. Because, their height, their back is like this tall. Like from the ground to here, it's this tall. Like, that's really tall. That's almost my height. It's just standing. Yeah, it's just freaky when they're so close, because they're like 2 feet away from me, or away from the windows, so that's kind of scary. And oh, I also learned that deer antlers also has fur on them, which I'm like, I never noticed that before. I don't know, I just thought it was interesting factoid. I don't know, I just never knew that there was fur on their antlers too, because I thought it was just, horn. It's just bare horn and not covered in fur. Yeah, well, anyways, back to this. Oh, and the, what's it called, the cuff, the ribbing, sits really well actually with the sleeve, so I'm really happy with that. I guess for every size it's a little different for the sleeve length or whatever, because in the pattern you knit the same length up for the sleeve for every size, but I guess it depends on your row gauge. But I did the MC, CC, MC, CC, so it's like 2 repeats, I guess, or like 4 stripes for the sleeve after you split for the sleeve and body. So some people just did the MC, CC, and that's it. Or sometimes it also depends on your size, because sometimes you would cast off or split with the CC or contrast color, sorry, instead of the main color. So it really depends on that, because then you could do contrast, main color, contrast, and then start your ribbing. And I think that would be perfect for like 3 centimeters, but a longer sleeve by like 1 centimeter is like negligible to me. But for some people, if your gauge is a little bigger, then your sleeve might come down to like halfway down your arm. So you just have to be careful with your row gauge and how the t-shirt blocks out too. You just gotta keep that in mind. I mean, it's not a big deal. Oh, and I'm wearing Teddy Fresh because we love H3 in the house. With my black undershirt that I need to make a knitted version, because I really like this one, but the sleeves are like too short, or it's like a 3/4 sleeve, and I kind of hate that, because then this whole part is like cold. But yeah, both of these are machine knitted. I didn't make it. Okay, I just bought it. Oh, and I'm drinking some milk tea that I made with my Yellowstone mug. I always want to call it Yosemite, but I don't have a Yosemite mug, because the Y's get me every time. And both of them are national parks, so you know. Okay, my first finished object is the agnete cardigan. I have worn it a couple times. Okay, that's why there's hair all over it. And it did fix the 4th button, and you actually can't really see that it's broken. So thank God. And I fixed it with Gorilla Super Glue. And it kind of reminds me of when I was working in a clean room lab doing like tech stuff. So that was kind of reminiscent of that, using tweezers and shit to glue things together on a tiny scale. So yeah, we love that. I'm gonna put it on the freaking hanger. And I'm like, how is it supposed to sit on a hanger? I'm so confused. Because it's the European style shoulder fit thing, you know. It's like super popular recently. And I mean, a lot of like simple patterns use that kind of style. It's where you knit the back into like a trapezoid shape, and then you pick up along these edges. It does cinch at the ribbing, maybe a little too much, but I still have to block this anyways and wash it. I enjoy wearing it, and technically you're not supposed to wear it directly on skin because I haven't washed it, because spinning oil. I can't recommend doing that, but I was really impatient. I just wanted to see how it looked. And it kind of fits like this one, you know, but a little baggier on the top because of the brioche. And I still have to like stretch this out a little bit so that I get the right sleeve length. It looks great. And I intended this to be like my spring, summer, fall kind of cardigan, so that I wear it when it's like super windy or like with dresses and stuff like that. I'm just like so ready to switch out my sweaters, okay? Like, I'm so ready for that. And if you're wondering what I'm putting here, it's the agnete cardigan, and I'm putting it on my, what's this called? Ah, fuck it, I don't remember. Maybe I'll just edit this part out. Oh, before we get to the next thing, I still have this much, which is enough for at least one more project or sweater or skirt maybe. And I still, this is my 5th skein of tussock, and I still have half of it left. So it's gonna go into my leftover mohair baggy thingy. Dude, I have so much now. I don't even know what to do with this. It's because they're all like less than 1 skein, and it's like, what do I do with that? Nothing. I can't do anything with that besides using it for like a contrast color or something. My next finished object is this. It's the dog sweater that I procrastinated on for like 5 months. So I finally finished the little army. I could finally give it to my cousin, even though it's not the time for dogs to be wearing sweaters because it's so fucking hot, especially where she's living in the Bay Area. Because the Bay Area microclimates are literally no joke. It varies wildly from like 60 degrees to 90, sometimes 100. For the outer Bay, or the greater Bay Area, it's basically 100 during summer. Like constant 100 degrees, which I would literally die. That's why I can't live in the greater Bay Area, like Gilroy, Dublin, Pleasanton. I'll just die. But yeah, I'm so glad to be done with this. I still have this much left and 1 full skein, and that's like not enough to make a beanie. It's not enough to make, well, it's enough to make another dog sweater, but like how many dog sweaters you need in this color? So yeah, maybe I could just give it to my cousin and then be like, you could practice knitting with this. I forgot to say that this is the Alvar dog sweater. It's a free pattern by Sorry Nordland, so it's a great free pattern because you can adjust it however you want to. And I knit the smallest size, and I did some modifications, but I kind of forgot what they were. I think it's just making the whole body much, much shorter because this chihuahua is so tiny. And I think I knit this neck thing much shorter as well. I can't remember because it's so long ago. And I did make the little hole for the leash, but she doesn't use that. She uses a body leash, so that's pretty much useless. Rip. But yeah, I think it's great. Yeah, I think it will actually fit the dog. So unlike the other one that I knit before, which is totally oversized and unusable because she could slip right out of it. I just found out that one of my second cousins crochets, so maybe I'll just try to find her Instagram account or something. I don't know. And I have made another gift knit for my cousin's son first birthday party, and man, that banquet, pretty good food. I met like all my extended family. And there's some people I've never ever seen before. I'm just like, do you come to these events? Also, they're still in Bay Area. That's amazing, because most of my family is in Bay Area or Sacramento or LA area, like SoCal, but like around LA. Rolling Heights. I used my leftover yarn from the champagne cardigan in drops puna, color number 2, in their beige color. I used 3.5 millimeter needles. Basically, I used a September hue by petiteknit. It's a September brioche hat kind of thing, beanie. Except I forgot to do double knitting in the beginning. And I was like, should I have done that? And I'm glad that I didn't do it, because I really needed that stretchy, like I needed to stretch to max basically, because I didn't know this, but my cousin's son is like, his head is massive for a 1-year-old. So it didn't fit him. Or it didn't fit him how I wanted to fit. I like put the picture somewhere on the screen, but I'm not gonna put like the baby wearing it, because I don't know, I feel weird about that. Yeah, but he was so cute in it, and it looked like a little spiral, so he kind of looks like a xiaolong bao, or like, you know, one of those twisted dumplings or buns. So he was so cute. That was really nice. But babies do run hot, as I have learned from Bethany from Well Loved Knits. She said babies run hot, and I can attest to that. Babies do run hot. And when I was putting on the gift knit, the beanie on him, I could feel the heat emanating from his head, and I'm like, ooh, I can only put this on for pics. And that's what we did. And then right after the pictures, we just took it off because he was getting visibly uncomfortable. So that was fun. Right, I have this thing behind me. So this is the Kelly genser in DIY 2109. That came out in the Sandnes garn booklet in 2021. I haven't worn it yet, so I haven't checked the size, but I knit it to pattern on 5mm needles, like 5mm throughout. You don't have to change needles, only 5mm. But yeah, it was kind of nice to just do full twisted rib for the hem, where you have to knit flat, but then you don't change the way you knit it, basically, because it's the same on both sides. So that's a plus for a full twisted rib. But yeah, purl through the back loop. I'd rather not do that again. But yeah, the sleeves are much longer than I thought, because my preferred sleeve length is like 44 to like 46 centimeters, but then you knit to like 42, and then you have 8 centimeters more of rib, and that's a long ass sleeve. It's like 50 something in length. So yeah, but in the picture too, the sleeves are like crazy long. It like bunched up here anyways in the pictures, so I guess that's fine. There's no short rows, so I don't know how it's gonna wear or fit on me. So kind of concerned, but it is quite long. And for some reason, my swatch is on gauge, but this is much tighter for some strange reason, even though I like knit it the same way. But the stitches are much tighter. It's like 2 stitches off. So the original pattern is 16 stitches per 10 centimeters, and this is 18. Yeah, 18 to 20. And I'm like, is that okay? I don't know, but I also haven't stretched it, but I stretched the swatch. Maybe I just need to stretch it a little bit so it like lays better, but it feels kind of tight. I used the knitting yarn in Piglet Pink, and I almost have a full skein of this because I used this much of this, so I mean, it seems like it goes a long way. Maybe I have like half left or something, or a little more than half, I think. I don't know what to do with that because I don't know if it's enough for like a contrast color. It's a nice raglan, and it's very simple. Like if you have never knitted before, I think this is a good first pattern because I only use one set of needles. Although you would have to either get DPNs or a smaller circumference here. So 2 sets of needles, maybe. Or if you only have 5 millimeters available, then yeah, this is a nice pattern for it. And I knitted 2 basically sweater quantities, and I still have this much left, which is enough for 1 more, I think. Like if I held a double, I don't know if this is enough for that. I don't have plans for this right now, so I'll just have to put it away. There's a lot of yarn. Yeah, so that's my 4th finished object. That's a lot of finished objects today, huh? And I just started this yesterday. It's the jules genser and the dama, and I made one last year in pink, and this year I'm making one in blue. And this is the colourmart mohair in the color Celeste. And you can still get this mohair on colourmart. It's the one they special order from the mill, and it's not like leftover yarn. And it comes on a cone that's like 150 grams, and it's 1400 meters. So that's usually enough for at least a sweater. And I used 4 balls last time, knitting for all of soft silk mohair, so that's like 840 meters. But I think I'm gonna use less for the body. I made a mistake, so I had to rip back, and I fixed it now because I didn't read a note for the chart that I totally forgot about. So because it's been a year basically since I made this, and I do wear the other jules genser like quite often. Yeah, I'm excited to have a blue one because I have a lot of blue clothes. I think this week I'm gonna get started. Oh, I'm using freaking 3 millimeters right now. It's so annoying. I was gonna start my sweater, but I think I'll do that after finishing this. I guess it's still like up in the air. And since I've finished so many projects, I have like 2 empty project bags now. I really don't want to start the couture cardigan or the alpenglobe just because it uses so many different yarns and so many different strands, and it just drains my mental energy, and it's like a big hurdle or obstacle to like start it, even though starting it is simple. But it's so daunting to start those projects that uses like a crazy number of strands just because I'm using like leftover yarn, and like I'm trying to fit the gauge, so I have to hold things double all the time, and that's like 4 strands if I'm doing color work. And I did that for the hair sweater, but that's just 2 colors, 2 solid colors. But the other one is just like, oh, one's is 2 strands that are 2 different colors, plus 2 strands that are also sometimes 2 different colors. So I don't know, just the marlin color mixing is just taxing on the mind, and I am not ready for that. But I am sort of ready to make a pattern that I have written most of the numbers for, which is the undershirt for like skiing or like whatever, that I will plan to wear under other sweaters and jackets and things like that. It's basically replicating this shirt. That's what I want to make. I'm just using the goddamn needles for it right now because it's a 4-ply yarn, and I'm gonna knit it on 3mm. I could knit it on 3.25, but I just want it to be really dense, like really dense. I'm not gonna have a blast editing this, so I think it's been about 30 minutes. So and I think I said everything I wanted to say. So my plan for this month is just to make my other sweaters that I've knitted and completed, just like tweaking them. Like the kutar sweater, I need to take off several rows on that, and then for my Billy pullover sweater, I need to add a sleeve length for it. So, oh, and I need to finish the sable sweater by Willow Knits. Yeah, I think that's all the edits that I need to do. I'm low-key dreading it, so and I'm gonna do that because Typical Bliss or Tiffany is doing, like on Tuesdays streams, she's doing basically abandoned WIPS KAL, so that's why I'm gonna do those 3 projects. And I think that's it for today. Thank you for keep watching. And I noticed that I got a lot of views recently, but if you haven't subscribed, but you watched more than 1 video, please subscribe so I know that people are watching out there, you know. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see y'all next time. The next time I can find time to film. All right, bye.